Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. I'm sure most of you out there have heard about what happened to Alec Baldwin, the terrible situation he found himself in. And I'm sure you're aware of how so many people in the gun community especially are being so hard on this man, calling him a monster, a murderer, etc. Well, I want to come out here and say, I think people are being too hard on him. We don't need to be calling him a murderer. We need to be realizing what a hero he actually is. We have heard from his own mouth that he did not fire that gun, didn't pull the trigger. It went off on its own. So we know that gun fired on its own. Another thing we know, based on what the media tells us, is that guns are bloodthirsty monsters. They're just waiting for an opportunity to kill someone. They cause most crime. Most crimes are committed by guns, according to the media. Anytime someone dies, it's because a gun decided they were going to die. So, in this case, we know two things. He didn't fire the gun, and guns are cold-blooded killers. They're just waiting to turn on you. And in this case, I think we need to start realizing this could have been a lot worse had Alec Baldwin not been there when this gun decided to go on its murderous rampage. If that gun hadn't have been in the hands of someone as brave and true and strong and manly as Alec Baldwin, when it decided to turn bad, or break bad, I guess I should say, who knows how many people could have been killed? Well, probably would have been 6 at the most, I would say, because it's a 6-shooter, and I can't imagine that the gun can load itself by itself. It needs an accomplice for that, which is why guns so often lead people astray, so that they'll be accomplices to the murders these guns commit. But like I said, in this case, we were lucky because Alec Baldwin was there. His quick thinking, his ability to wrestle that gun to the ground before it could continue its rampage, saved lives. So instead of calling this man a killer or a liar, we need, like I said, to bow down and recognize what a hero this man really is. Because that gun was obviously the villain. And in this case, he was obviously the hero and saved, like I said, at least 5 people. And if you don't believe me, just ask him. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. All right, with that being said, I want to continue talking to those of you that are still here, which I mean those of you that understand sarcasm and satire. And I want to talk about something else some of you might be aware of already. I got banned on PayPal today. Oh, God. How am I ever going to function in society without something from, when was it created? 2012? I don't know. It's so 2014 or whatever it is. Banned completely. Not just my Yankee Marshal account, but every account that I held. Banned. Because I had other accounts I used for different things, like comic books and blah, blah, blah. So all of them banned. I've got to reset everything. In fact, what little money I make through YouTube came through PayPal. I have to change that too. I got banned because I got reported, probably by another gun channel. They're the ones that usually report me, for selling guns on the internet through PayPal. I've never sold a gun in my life on the internet through PayPal. I don't sell things through PayPal. I don't sell things, period. Everyone knows I'm not someone who gets into merch or stuff like that. I definitely don't sell guns. I don't have a gun shop or an FFL license. And I ain't doing private transfers with people over the internet. I do that locally. So they're saying, you're selling guns and ammo. And I'm like, I'm not selling anything. I was taking donations for an animal charity. And then over on my own website, I was saying, hey, and as a thank you from me, I'm going to take the list of everybody who donated and enter them into a raffle where I give away a Glock. So according to what PayPal is saying, if I did that to anyone, if I said, hey, if anyone's given to that muscular dystrophy charity over there, take a screenshot of your donation, send it to me, and I'll put you in a drawing. Well, then they would cancel that company's account because I guess they're selling guns, which is ridiculous. They're holding over $5,000 that we had raised already for the cause. Supposedly I'll be able to get it later. But things I'm reading from a lot of people are saying, oh no, they'll take it all away from you because they'll say, you violated the terms of use and for every time you got to pay $2,500. And I'm like, I took hundreds and hundreds of donations, but I don't know how they're going to say that every one of those is selling a gun and violating our contract. I've never violated the contract. But one of the things I wanted to say right now, though, is A lot of people are like, aha, now you see what it's like. Now you don't believe that companies should be able to do what they want. No. I still believe that a private company should be able to do what they want. If PayPal doesn't want to do business with me, I think they should have every right to say so for whatever reason they want, as long as they're not violating state or federal laws. They should be able to come to me and say, you know what, Yankee Marshall, you're just too handsome. We don't want to do business with you. Your dick's too big. Makes us feel insecure, so we don't want to do business with you. I would happily accept the criticism and accept their decision. Would have no problem with it. The only time I have a problem with private businesses doing things similar to this, and some of the business I've had a problem with in the past, is like when internet providers, or content providers like YouTube or Facebook, want to get government protection to where they're not liable for anything on their site, even though they promote certain things on their site, because they say we don't censor, therefore we're not responsible. But then they censor, but they still want to be treated like they don't censor. I don't think they should be able to have it both ways. Either they don't censor at all, unless something violates state or federal laws, or they censor and they should be responsible for the content. If they decide they want to remove these things, but they want to leave these things on, and sometimes even promote these things because it creates division, makes people angry, makes them money, they should be responsible for that. If they're going to censor at all, if they're going to promote certain items and deny certain items and remove certain items, then they're censoring, they're a publisher, they should be treated as such. That's when I have a problem. And I do have a small problem with YouTube, or not YouTube, but PayPal, because when I signed up for PayPal, I entered into an agreement with them that I would not violate their terms of service, and they would provide me a service that I paid for. I have not violated their terms of service. I have never sold a gun through PayPal or gun-related equipment or anything like that. I have bought sometimes some ammo stuff from PayPal, but never have I sold a single item through any of my accounts on PayPal. I don't even sell things. I think you know, I'm not a retail business. I don't really have anything I need to sell. I would sell my body if anybody would buy it, but no one's going to buy it, except for maybe like really old, ugly fat men. But even then, if they're going to pay for it, they're going to pay for better than me. So I got nothing to sell. So I just want to let people know they're saying, aha, now you'll change your tune about private businesses. No, I won't. I believe a private business should be able to choose who they do business with and how they run their business, as long as they don't violate state and federal laws. But there's a such thing as contracts. And when you enter into a contract with a website, they should have to honor their side as well as you honoring your side. They don't get to change the rules or make up the rules as they go along. PayPal has set rules. They're claiming I violated them. I can prove without a shadow of a doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I've never sold anything on PayPal, much less a gun or gun parts or ammo. So they're not living up to their end of the contract. Now, like I said, I'm moving on, finding other sources. So I'm just like, I probably won't go back to them even if they open my accounts back up, which I'm trying to get them to do just so we can get the money back out for the fundraiser, because it's a shame if we don't get that money back for the fundraiser, which I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I just wanted to let everyone know, like I said, no, I'm not changing my tune. That would be hypocritical. That'd be like Rand Paul, who votes against every disaster relief fund until it was Kentucky. Now he's out there begging for disaster relief. That's hypocritical. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I will stick to if you're going to be treated like you're a special entity that doesn't censor, but then you should act like one. If you don't act like one, you should be treated like a publisher. If you enter into a contract with individuals where they pay you money for a service, you should either be able to tell them, we just want to nullify our contract and move on, but claiming that they violated the contract when they didn't, that should be on you, and you should have to not be able to get away with that. So, but other than that, like I said, I stick to my guns. Private business should be able to do what they want. In this case, I'm really upset that they chose to do something I don't think is just based on the words of someone else, just because they don't like guns and because the other gun channels don't like me and the things my channel does, because they don't like the fact that we give away stuff when they don't. They don't like when we help people out when they don't. And they don't like that we raise a lot of money for charities when they don't, even though they make 10 times more money than me. So that's what I'm upset about, not the fact that a private business has decided not to do business with me, because like I said, they should have every right to do that, but they should still have to honor their contracts. All right, with that being said, I just want to remind everyone that we are still doing the FurFriends Animal Fundraiser. And if you want to go over to my website, tympistolproject.com, there's a link in the upper corner of this video. You can still click there. You can still donate. It's going through GoFundMe now. And as a personal thank you to everyone that donates, I'm going to collect all that information. I'm going to put you in a raffle for one of the clocks. So we're still doing that. So like I said, the only thing is now we're going to have to try to make up what we've lost already. If I can get confirmation from YouTube that I can get that money, that they're not going to try to take it all, I'm going to forward that, or actually I should say front that money from my savings account when we make the donation at the end of the month. And then when I finally get it unlocked from Facebook or PayPal, I'll just put it back in my account. We'll know here in a few days probably. So we just got to raise. Don't worry, if you've donated through PayPal already, you are registered. You don't have to change anything. I've still got all that information. I still have access to all that. If you were part of the first drawing, if you donated then, you're fine. The first winner is still fine. So nothing is changing. We're just using a different source for bringing in the new donations. So go on over, donate, and we'll still be doing it the way we were. The only thing is now, instead of using PayPal, we're using GoFundMe. And with that being said, I want to get out of here. I want to say thanks to everyone for coming. I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, I want to remind everyone to always carry and stay safe until I see you again.